Hi guys, welcome to the Random Burrito where we talk about books, food, gaming, pop culture, and sometimes occult and spiritual stuff. So today, I'll just be talking about some stuff that happened in my life since the quarantine and just doodle around in my journal while I'm doing that. If that's okay with you guys, so just, you know, stay a while and listen to this tale. Just kind of let you guys in on what's happening with me lately, in case you guys are curious. I hope you are. So, about 2 weeks ago, um, I discovered through a friend of mine that there are Reiki classes being offered here in Cebu. And you might wonder, what is Reiki? So, Reiki is a form of energy healing, and it works on the principle that around you, everything around us, is made of energy, and that this energy, we can harness it in such a way that it can benefit us, it can benefit the people around us, and hopefully help ourselves and others, achieve their best self physically, spiritually, emotionally, just as a whole. Holistically. There we go, that's the term. So, this was conducted at a Reiki master's house. Her name is Windy Zara, or Zara Windy, rather. And this was taught in person with just us four participants. And it was really great. It was a soothing experience, and I had a lot of revelations. Had a lot of fun while doing it. Fun in the sense that um, I got to meet other people, and as you guys know, especially if we're close IRL, I'm quite an extrovert. Um, on most days, I really like meeting new people, experiencing new things, kind of broadening my horizons a bit. I enjoy that. I enjoy hanging out with people who I find interesting and whom I think could help me become a better person overall. So, in this class, we were taught about chakras. Um, so we were like Naruto for a bit, like talking about chakras. So chakras are like different energy points in your body. So there's the crown chakra, the throat chakra, and they operate on this foundation that if something bad happens to a certain chakra, then it can manifest as um, a physical or even an emotional or psychological wound. So, like, if you're not good at expressing yourself, or you're not good at, let's say, setting boundaries, you're not good at saying no when the time comes, you would create a blockage in your throat chakra, and that could cause like thyroid problems or just throat problems. So that's like the basic idea of this practice. And as a spiritual practitioner, since I work with tarot cards and do divination for people, I work a lot with energy. I am constantly inviting foreign energy, specifically like the energy of the people who want a reading from me, and I would want to make sure that when I do a reading for them, I channel their energy so my cards can feel what they feel, and I can help them, you know, achieve what they want from that reading. And basically, I just think that doing Reiki or learning Reiki could help me be a better practitioner as a whole. So, oh, by the way, there was this kind of freaky incident that happened, which made me like become a firm believer in it. So we were meditating, as one does in a Reiki session, and like out of the blue, there was this Cape starling. We didn't know it was a Cape starling back then, but it had like bright emerald green feathers and red eyes. So we made some research and find out what it was. And so this bird just came crashing to the glass door. Like us on certain days, we bang our heads on the glass door, but this bird was like a kamikaze coming out of nowhere and just like hit the glass door. And it was pretty wounded, like badly wounded. It could hardly breathe, to be honest. It was struggling. The wing, I think it was the left wing. It seemed broken, like he couldn't, the bird couldn't fly. Okay, and Wendy, our Reiki master, she went up to that bird, and she did Reiki on the bird. Like, she closed her eyes, focused her energy on the bird, and kind of just let the bird bask in her energy. And I kid you not, within like 5 minutes from that incident, the bird was looking happy and healthy, as if it never had an accident at all. And it looked like it wanted to get inside and just hang with us, but of course we couldn't, because it belongs outside. It belongs to the wild. It is meant to run free, or fly free rather, with its brethren and feathered folk. So after a few minutes, it went away, and that moment just stayed with me throughout the session and even up until now, and I just couldn't shake it off my head. Like, what was that about? So that was cool. That was amazing. That was, to be honest, quite life-changing. And so we went on to talking about like the basic principles of Reiki, how it originated and all that, and we went on to like doing self Reiki, practicing Reiki on each other, and it felt pretty good. Like, It was very calming. I have heard of stories where the Reiki practitioner would not feel very well. It's like um, some of them are even convulsing or something. Um, it's like their body's trying to get rid of all the toxins, and it's doing it in a violent manner. Luckily, I didn't have that experience. I did pee a lot, so I had to drink a lot of water so I won't be dehydrated. And I really think we all should drink a lot more water. Um, Being irritable is one of the like hallmark indications that you're not drinking enough. Hence, Mimia's words of wisdom, drink your water, beach, is very appropriate. And I noticed that, so when you do Reiki at level 1, because there are 3 levels, so like I'm at a beginner level, you have to do self Reiki for 21 days. And I am on, I think, my 8th or 9th day that I've been doing this. And to be honest, I've had quality sleep. I mean, I can't sleep more than 8 hours on a weekday. That's just me. However, I wake up feeling energized. I wake up feeling refreshed, more refreshed than ever, to be honest. And I haven't had any like nightmares or violent dreams, which I used to have like last year, up until last year rather. And you know, um, it's like good spiritual hygiene actually, because you take a step back and you kind of ground yourself by grounding, like, you're so, like, let's say you're scrolling on FB, you see a lot of people fighting, arguing, and then there are people who are also selling stuff, doing their hustle, and it's just a messy place, okay? And sometimes you get caught up in the hype, in the emotion of it all. Some of them are not even yours. Some of those emotions you pick up from, the people posting stuff on FB. And what Reiki does is it lets you slow things down, gives you time to reflect, and, makes you aware that you're not breathing right. You're you're having shallow breathing. You're just tense, and you're not even aware of it. So it kind of grounds you back to reality and gives you a chance to let all that bad energy go. And to be honest, I have to say the hardest thing with this process is it's not enforced strictly, but it's suggested to reduce like processed food, reduce red meat. I could go into detail. Reduce caffeine. I can go into detail maybe in our next video, but so far that has been the hardest because I love meat. And lately I've noticed that my body kinds of like, I don't enjoy red meat anymore compared to what I was used to before. Like, my body is saying, after a few spoonfuls that, hey, girl, you've had enough. Stop. And I'm like, okay, body. And, you know, you just have to listen to it. And so right now, I've been coffee free for like more than 2 weeks. And I am happy to say that I am not in need of it anymore, even though I work at night shifts. Um, I'm able to sustain my energy throughout the whole day. My quality of life has just been generally better since I did it, and to be honest, um, I am just happy I came across it. I'm just happy that um, I was able to participate in that. Of course, there was a fee, but like, it was just worth it. I mean, I'm not spending as much money now compared to when, um, you know, I was working on site. So I was able to save up some money for that Reiki class, and hashtag no regrets. And I was just really happy that I had that opportunity. And I'm glad that I was able to do it with, like-minded people. And one of the things that you should be comfortable when you're doing Reiki is that you listen to everything your body and your mind says, even the ugly things that you try to sweep under the rug. So what do I mean by that? It means that you need to work on a lot of things about yourself. You need to learn about your triggers, what triggers you, why does it trigger you, maybe some childhood trauma and grief that you just ignored, or maybe, you're not really healed, you're just distracted by a lot of things. And that's one of the realizations that I've had in this journey, like ever since the pandemic. And I think the whole world knows that the Philippines has one of the longest lockdowns in any other country ever. So I've had a lot of time to think about how I deal with emotions, and how I deal with stress. So, I realized that I wasn't really fully healed from a lot of things in my past. I was just running away from it. Like, it's the reason why I kind of drown myself in the noise of city life. Like, going to the mall, hanging out with friends, just anything to distract me, just anything just so that I can avoid being alone. Alone with my thoughts. And so when I was in quarantine, obviously I wasn't able to go to the office. I felt like I didn't have a crutch to hold on to, because office life, interacting with people outside, has always been my go-to. Like, I hide behind laughter of friends, just anything to distract me from a lot of issues that I refuse to face. And with the lockdown happening, it's like I have no choice. I have to face it, like, this is my life now. I have to accept the fact that these inner demons that I have silenced through external noise, they want to be addressed, you know? The elephant in the room has been fed and ignored, and now it's time to let it go. And even before Reiki, I was able to do that. But with Reiki, it felt safer for my psyche to do it. There was lesser threat to my ego when confronting these unconventional truths because, let's be honest, we'd like to think we're the protagonists of our story. Some of us like to play the victim when in fact, sometimes we're the villains. Sometimes we're the jerks and the assholes, and I, for one, am amenable to that. I haven't been the kindest to everyone. And that's the first step towards, better clarity about yourself. And this quarantine has also taught me what's really important to me. And, I'm the kind of person who can connect and relate to people easily. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I have a really close knit, just few friends. And I like it that way. And this quarantine also helped me be brave in facing my inner demons, in establishing boundaries. I mean, whether you practice Reiki or not, like, establishing boundaries is a healthy practice. Learn to say no, learn to prioritize, like, who deserves your time, who deserves your attention, stuff like that. And I think it's a beautiful lesson everyone needs to learn. Yeah, so that's it. And what should I color this? Okay, let's choose this. So I also got more into like doodling, line art, calligraphy. It's very calming. I'm not a plant person. I don't have a green thumb, or rather, I don't want to test if I even have the capacity for it, because I think plants, just like pets, they deserve as much attention as you would any other living organism. And I'm just afraid to do it. Like, poor plants. Right? So I just admire plants. I like how they can be resilient. They require different things from us, but at the end of the day, they have the same power. They absorb negativity, they absorb all the bad stuff around us, and in return, they give us life. So, props to you, plants, props to you. Alright? You do what you do. But I just couldn't bring myself to take care of you, because I am sometimes bad at taking care of myself, let's be real. So, I'm just drawing them. And by draw, I use that term very loosely. It's very calming to see a lot of greens. Speaking of greens, because of, my Reiki practice, I am considering, or quite inclined into having a plant-based diet maybe in the future. Like I found myself like wondering, like even the fact that I'm wondering how a like a fresh plate of greens would taste like is monumental. Like I hate veggies. Um, I mean, there are only a few veggie dishes that I love to eat, like chop suey. And if they're fried or, sauteed in butter, count me in. But all other dishes, no. But now I'm like considering it because, um, you know, in Reiki, um, the reason why Reiki practitioners would discourage processed meat and red meat in general is because the way these animals are slaughtered. So there's a lot of pain and tension that the animals feel, and that energy, again, Reiki is all about that energy, it carries on to their meat, right? And that's what you would ingest. And there's like some scientific proof of that, I guess. Meat that were like animals that were slaughtered in an abattoir or in slaughterhouses. Their meat tend to be like tougher. They have more lactic acid than usual. So, that's a bad indication. You don't want lactic acid on your meat because that will make it tough and not taste pleasant. So I'm just putting purple mini flowers. I don't know. I don't know what plants look like. Just doodling. Alright. And yeah, so just considering it for the future. I'm not sure if I could really follow through on that, but that thought has been playing in my head. So yeah, and one of the realizations that I had was, our body is like a garden. Our soul is like a garden. We need to tend to it. All right. So I guess that's what I'm gonna write here. Tend to the garden of your soul. All right. So, as you can see, I am very free flowing. I don't plan my space. So, yeah. Tend to the garden of your soul. Ta-da! So yeah, that has been my Reiki spiritual experience the past few weeks, and that's our finished product right there. I hope you enjoyed this video somehow. Please like and subscribe. Click that bell notification if you haven't, and see you in our next video. Bye!